Oh my gosh, I haven't seen anything like this in years! Sorry, I got excited there. Josh the RV Nerd here at Bish's RV in Junction City, Oregon with a Coachman Pursuit. And it's something that I haven't seen in ages. It's a Class A RV with no slides. Just straight front to back camp and hit the road running, there you go. I haven't seen something like this in so long. And it boggles my mind because I love the idea. Not to mention, with fewer slides comes fewer things that you have to worry about, fewer things you need to maintain, and just less price tag, fewer things you need to pay for. So who is this for? I don't think this is necessarily for like the I'm gonna live in it all the time full-time RVer, although nothing says you can't. But when I look at something like this, I see someone's like, okay, we want to go like to the races a couple times, or we do like we do horse shows. We need something to pull our trailer. We need something to stay there over the weekend or something like that. Like something that you could pull out of from beside the barn or behind the garage or whatever when you need it, if you need it, and just hit the road, go, no nonsense, no monkey darn. I could see this being an amazing like race day runner right here. Just because again, you just turn the key, hit the road. There's not a lot to it. It's a straightforward classic design. There's a couple things I wish they would have updated and modernized a little bit, but overall, I love just the window coverage. The window coverage on this is awesome. This is like American Road Trip 101 right here, baby. And this is actually, a motorhome that I think my friend Mr. Schooley, who's like a complete slide skeptic, I think he might really enjoy it. Let me know what you think about this one if you see it, sir. Man, I love this. I love this. Just, it's like ready at a moment's notice. That's how this RV feels to me. It's going to be here. It's simple. It's straightforward. You don't got a monkey with slides. Turn the key, hit the road, go, have fun, get dirty, cause some trouble, get out of town before they catch you. That's how this one catches me right here. And since they didn't have slides to worry about all over the place, they could put windows wherever they wanted. So the visibility and the views that you can get out of this, they're hard to match. They're really hard to match in this size. Now, I've seen floor plans kind of like this in a Class C market, but in the Class A world, a conventionally sized Class A, there are some things like the Ace and the Vegas. They call themselves a Class A. They just do a funky shaped cab. Other than that, it's a Class C. Something like this even. Frankly, it's not much different. But this is a full-size coach, meaning, full height, full 102-inch wide body. And that's another kind of thing. Old school classic RV designers, they didn't always have the ability to just throw slides everywhere to make the RV feel big. They did things like they made it maximum, legal road width to help compensate for that. And that's the same thing that's happened here. Down below here, you got our little sofa space. Now you see the seat belts in there. That's one of the other cool things about this is it can seat belt plenty of people. Actually, they do a very good job about that. Coachman's very good about that. Now that I say it, the cab area is simple. It's straightforward. But what part of this coach isn't? Although, the stuff that you're gonna use every day, like the seats are nice. And this is one of the areas where this one I think really beats a lot of the Class C's. Because some of the C's might have the spinny seats, some of them don't. This is nice. Got this little composite top kind of work table, eating station. You got your chargers, plugs in there, all kinds of easy stuff. And the way that this cockpit just wraps around the driver, visually, very appealing to me, especially with that nice large screen. That's the thing, like, where they put something in, they put something decent in this, which is kind of nice. That big screen giving you, that's your entertainment. That's going to be, like rear view camera, all that stuff. It's nice to have visual acuity of all that. Now, what this coach doesn't have that might be a problem for some folks is it does not have a leveling system. So you're going to have to kind of, pull out a couple boards and back onto them or whatnot. And have a little walkie-talkie communication with your co-pilot, or just find something like this that's mostly flat and just call it good enough for the weekend. Why does this look like a green screen behind me? Anyway, I'm not green screen. See, I'm right here. Anyway, this has a drop-down bunk. It's not a power bunk, though. It's a manual, so I wanted to kind of show you how this works. Now, on both sides of this thing, there's this little latch. You pull in there, and it kind of unclicks. Now, of course, you want to do the other side, and you see how it kind of drops down there. Probably better if you're on that side of it rather than directly under this thing, but I mean, it's made to not just fall and crack you on the head. So there's that. Now from here, it's just two simple things. You just pull this down, and I mean, it ain't hard. It's self-supporting. It's all gas threaded up here. You're gonna push this down until it stops. You're just gonna pull this down, and voila! There you are. You're camping. Now it's got an automatic. Like if you're gonna sleep up here, you want to block the privacy, you want to block the privacy? What? Anyway, you want to block the front window so that you maintain privacy. The other cool thing is, it keeps you from kind of rolling out of the bed in case you had one too many. Now you might notice, you can leave these seats however you want, really. Like, I just left the seat in the driving position. No big deal. That one I left twisted off to the side. It's going to fit. Now, theoretically, if you had the seat purely rear facing, yeah, it might be a bit of a problem, but it gives you more ability. Like a lot of these power bunks and a lot of motorhomes, you got to have them in like the exact right, combination twist locks position. You don't got to do that here. But how do you get up there? With a hook ladder. And in case you're curious, this is 300-pound rated. So yeah, it'll hold me. I can come with you. And just so someone can't say, well, he didn't put it away, so it must be hard. I'm going to see if I can one-arm this. I've never tried it before. But it doesn't seem like it's that difficult. No. Look at my noodle arms. Look at, I'm like the wacky, inflatable, flailing, wavy man in front of the used car dealership. If my stupid spaghetti arms and lady fingers can do it, so can you. I think I pulled a rib muscle doing that wacky, inflatable, flailing man impression thing there. So sitting at the sofa next to the entry door, you have yourself just a fantastic little conversation position right here. And, if someone's wanting to walk through, I'm going to kind of look you straight down just to give you a reference here. This is just me sitting in my natural position. I could pull my legs back a little bit, but I mean, it's a no-slide model. It's going to be a little tight, but what's nice is you have a full-size sofa, full-size dinette. You see, both sides of the dinette do have seat belts. You get that sweet, sweet cross breeze ripping through here. And, ooh, I'm punching the camera on accident. I'm so sorry. The TV position from the sofa, pretty good. That being said, this doesn't feel like the kind of rig that you're using so that you can go somewhere to watch TV. This feels more like the kind of RV that you're going to use to get away from everything. And I don't know, maybe it's game day, maybe it's race day. And like, let's say you're kind of, you're in the infield, you're watching the NASCAR or something like that. Watching the NASCAR? That sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like when an old person says, are you taking the pot? It just sounded all wrong when it came out of my mouth. You get the idea. If you're watching NASCAR, like you could keep your coverage going on inside here while you're watching it outside or something. I don't know. Are you watching the NASCAR? Actually, who's your favorite driver? Mine's definitely Cole Trickle. One being one of them, in my opinion. It is not the kind of RV that you're going to cook a Thanksgiving meal in, though. It is quite limited in the way of kitchen capacity. I'm showing you the dinette storage just because I want you to... I don't drink coffee, but I know people in my life that if they don't get their coffee, they will murder me because, I mean, I get it. I can be a lot. I do, however, like this wastebasket space down here. And you might notice it has a traditional microwave and traditional oven. So you got a great little spot there for baking them biscuits in the morning and the cookies in the afternoon. And I end up making myself sick eating all the cookies and biscuits. With the taller ceiling, headroom in here, absolutely not an issue. And flip it around the other direction, because it's tabulated over here. Next to Mr. Toilet, what kind of legroom do we have? Well, it's not a headbanger. It's a little bit of a knee knocker. Okay. The legroom is okay. Open pockets down here I'm usually not a fan of, but like that feels like toilet paper pockets. That doesn't really bother me. Keep the doors wedged open, and it worked. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. If it could fall on us at any second here. But that is a 12-volt DC compressor fridge, which is one of the things I was really excited about. Extra little bonus drawer, so I guess there technically is a silverware drawer in the kitchen. It's just down by your toes. Hopefully you got monkey feet. Reminds me, yeah, you know that song "Come Together" by the Beatles when he's describing this dude? Imagine you're a police sketch artist and you're like, he's got monkey finger, he shoots Coca-Cola, and you're like, what? Oh, hold on. Whoa. I just plugged this in. Look at this. It's already like, holy crap, this thing is already iced. They are like Rob Van Winkle. Vanilla Ice, that is. Did you know that's his real name? I wonder how many people knew what I was talking about before I said Vanilla Ice. Anyway, master command panel over here. No button for slide outs, since, you know, shouldn't have slide out. But holding tank heaters is a nice find on one of these. Now, you see right here, for your to close off the bathroom in case so you don't have to put on a free show for the neighbors, you've got the accordion pocket doors. Now, the bedroom here is just, it's a no-slide, simple, walk-around bed. I love it. Except for the fact that this is a camp queen. Now, just because this is tight quarters, I've flipped into fisheye lens. This is not, I feel, accurately representative of the RV. It's just the only way that I can show you everything in the room at one time. And I'm getting motion sick looking at it. I apologize if you have any kind of issues related to that. I'm trying to move as slowly as possible. Okay, so now that we know how the knee bone connects to the leg bone, and I hope you appreciate that, like, you know, I'll point out stuff like, it's a Camp Queen. I'll point out stuff like, you're doing the butt scoop boogie to already get around this thing. If you try to put a longer bed in, you probably could, but you're going, you're going to, such a stupid child. You're going to be crawling into the bed, is what I was going to say. Now, they do a really cool thing with this overhead cabinet storage. First of all, it's really nice that it just has the metallic struts to hold those doors open. I didn't expect that. I expected this to be a little more utilitarian. I expected it just to flop down and close. But it doesn't. Instead, they do an interesting thing here. You see that orange sign? They call that the Coach Pap Station. And do you know the name of the Coachman Dalmatian? There is a specific name for that dog. So that is actually just a hole that goes up into that cabinet. So if you want to have a CPAP machine up here above your head, but not where it's going to fall on you, there is a set of household outlets over there you could use to power that. Modern problems require modern solutions. Now, I always like to show you road mode, but in this case, there's no slide. So I thought I'd show you how an American bod guy fits around this thing. That's what it is. It's an American bod. Listen, maybe you don't like it, but this is what peak male performance looks like. I can't even say it without laughing. Anyway, you might notice my knees are in the dash. They're just eating this dashboard up. It's an adjustable seat. It's a manual adjustable, and kind of like you see from my face, it takes a little bit to find it. But you can get it back, and at this point, I might actually slide it forward a little bit, but it's not too bad. So you get out here, act like you're the bus driver hopping around this thing, and, you know, when that idiot in the Kia Soul comes and across from you, you just... That is an angry horn. And again, it's that windshield. It's all the windows in the front end of this thing that really get me going, like I said. Because when you're in it, you still kind of feel like you're out here a little bit. Not to mention, you know, they could have just made it totally plain vanilla. I think it still has a good look on the front of it. I like it. I like it. Again, it certainly, it doesn't have all the fancy equipment of some of those guys you might see in the background over there. You know, it's not outfitted like a Newmar. It also don't cost like a Newmar. So there's something to consider. Speaking of that, you know, this is, you know, it's smaller, so it's running on a smaller chassis. Like you have the 19.5-inch tires. This isn't on one of those big giant guys. But again, it's the drivability of this one. From the very front point to the very back, this is only 29 feet. It's like 29 feet on the nose. Now, that being said, again, I kind of wish it was 29.5 feet to pick up a True Queen bed, but, you know, you can't have everything. It's what I told my wife when she married me. I'm like, listen, you can't have everything. You got me instead. Now, since she isn't bigger and she's not riding on a giant chassis, They didn't have a extreme opportunity for some massive outside storage, but they did what they could where they could. Now this is running on that new Ford V8, so more torque and more horsepower than they had before, and I think better gas mileage. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I've seen so many things this weekend. It is just totally spinning my head here. A little propane quick connect, because again, we're race day partying, we're game day tailgating. That's what this one is right here, baby. We have a 5,000-pound tow rating on the hitch in the back, and under the headboard of the bed, this is just Coachmen Classic Camping 101 right here with this gigantic storage compartment that we're going to crawl through to get to the other side. What? Did you think I was kidding? I told you we are going to climb through to the other side. What part of that wasn't clear? Oh, by the way, see that little white thing? And that is where you would normally feed your power cord down through. I'm doing just a quick setup here, so I just ran it out the side door. You know, if you do it like I did, then you'd have to leave that door open all the time, which would give the gas station murder hobos a nice place to crash at the end of the night before they decide to come in and get you. As I said, since we're on that Ford chassis here with this setup, you're going to have by default a 5,000-pound tow rating. A lot of these Coachmans, though, like if you look at this one, it's like 8,000-pound hitch, 800-pound tongue rating. The hitch is actually rated for more than the assembly, but with a basically the way that it attaches to the frame can't support quite that much weight sometimes. So you might need to employ the use of like an external weight distribution hitch to achieve that maximized rating. Now, you might notice I don't have all the baggage doors open. One of the things that I'm kind of scratching my head on a little bit, at least in one of the two cases, they don't do any sort of thing like even a magnet holdback to hold them open. Now, this door, I understand, because you have a water heater right here, and the last thing you want is a baggage door over the top of it melting. But that right there, that is a serious piece of equipment. That is our NPS 4500 inverter generator. Now, it says NPS. It's a Yamaha plan that is built by a supplier called MPS. That's why it's in that Yamaha blue. It even comes with a Yamaha owner's manual. One of the other things that I like about that, it will, you know, obviously provide clean power to all of your outlets, but it will also remote start. Like it comes with its own little key fob to remote start the thing, which I think is awful nice. And hey, as long as we're right here, let's take a look at those Goodyear tires as we scan past you got the Godzilla motor 3.7 liter, you know, monster capacity thing there. Now, the skin is just conventional skin. The windows are just conventional windows. The roof is just a conventional roof, you know? It's not trying to pretend to be more than it really is. Although it does have tank heaters, which is nice. That's something Coachman's been doing on their motorhomes pretty consistently for a while now, though. But it's just an awesome weekender right here. Like, if you're like, this is the kind of rig that I think I would just leave packed. And if the wife and I had a bad week, I think we just look at each other and just go, road trip, and we just go. And we just get lost. We just go somewhere, no plans, just let the road take us where we will, and wherever we landed, that's where we'd be for the week or the weekend or whatever. That's kind of what this one, that's the feels that this one gives me. So I mean, what do you think? Am I crazy? Like, why don't we see more stuff like this? I still feel like there's validity and value to a no-slide RV out there in the RV marketplace. But that's my 2 cents. What do you guys think about it? Because I sure think it's pretty cool. When you're ready, we're ready. Give us a call. We'd love to take care of you, whether it's here at our Junction City location or any of them. And if you, like, let's say you purchase this at this location and you're in Iowa and need service. You stop at our Bishas stores in Iowa and they'll take care of you just like you're at home. That's one of the cool things about being a Bishas customer, new or used, by the way. So take care, stay safe, have fun. Happy camping, everyone.